Timmy has no idea what has even been going on these past couple hours. He is so tired of seeing all the normies waste their time being distracted all day. He has literally seen exactly where this leads, watching people waste their time and slowly wither away. It finally reached the point where enough was enough, letting go of the noise, setting intentions, and then Timothy is focused like a blade, cutting through the sea of distractions in the world today. Himothy has arrived. From helplessly distracted to focused and strong, Himothy is able to get more time out of his day because he's not wasting any. Not only leveling up his physique, but his wealth and freedom. With this focused deep work, Himothy's business has gone to new heights.
Thinking will slowly destroy you, but thought will set you free. Today you're going to learn how to break free of thinking. And what is the difference between thinking and thought, right? It sounds like the exact same thing. I thought that for the longest time. But you know, thinking is in the past, it's in the future. It's brought up through these social media apps, all the distractions in your life. It creates all the stress. It's everything pulling you down. Thinking is quite literally putting 99% of men in a constant state of helpless desperation, and they don't even know why. Thought without any intention is thinking. Thinking drains your energy, wastes your time, and worst of all, it is procrastination masquerading as productivity. You think you're getting stuff done by thinking about it, but without actually taking any action, without setting an intention. Most of the time, thinking is completely wasted energy. What do I mean by this? You might be in a car ride home and you come up with a fantastic idea, but if you're not in a situation where you could set your intention on that work and get it done, all you're doing is opening up another tab in the browser of your mind, draining more of your own energy, and at the same time, not moving the needle of progress in your own life. Thinking is slowly destroying you. And by understanding this, by watching this right now, I'm going to help you break free of that. One thing that's super important is thought behind intention, is taking action, is making progress, and can and will change your entire life. But understanding the difference between these two is so important, and it takes time, right? It's hard. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be some master monk at the top of a temple levitating in my sheer presence, right? I'm not at that level. I actually have to work constantly at this because it's that hard, because the world today is that distracting. You know this as a man, that the social media apps, the notifications, women, the list goes on. The level of distractions, media in itself today, because of the rise of short form content, is literally as distracting as it could possibly be. Everything is switching to be able to distract you as quickly as possible. And so it's hard. It's something that I work on constantly, is catching myself and saying, this is thinking. Need to be in a state of thought, because your mind is the most powerful engine on the planet. But so many will rev that engine all day long in place. Like they're literally, the parking gear is on and they're revving the engine in place and they're getting nothing done. To break free is to treat your mind like a Formula One car. You set your intention on one thing. Multitasking is a myth. It is a lie. People who think, oh, well, I'm so productive. I'm able to have my emails open and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Those are the people who get nothing done. They're just bouncing back and forth between a million different things, and they think they're being productive because they get whatever menial, basic, non-complicated work done. But everything that actually is significant, all the true creative work that would really move the needle in their life, gets pushed off to another day. And so many men live a life of quiet desperation because they are constantly pushing off the things that they know they need to be doing, but at the same time are living in a state of constant distraction. And if that is you, all you have to do is practice setting your intentions and only focusing on one thing. Forget all the noise. When you set an intention, it's very clear. Literally, something that I do often is I'll get a notepad. It could be a piece of paper. I like to order these random notepads off Amazon, but honestly, I'm not selling you anything. You could literally just get a piece of paper, and whatever that task is that you need to do for work or anything, you write it down and you practice only focusing on that. It sounds so silly. It seems so dumb, but you'll be amazed the amount of times that your mind will want to wander to all these different things. It is so crazy how distracting the world is nowadays. And this is why this is so important. Because the problem that most people struggle with is it's not the fact that the information isn't out there, right? The information that you need to know in order to succeed. You're on YouTube right now. You're watching a video like this. You know it's out there. But most of you cannot sit down and do one thing at a time and make progress towards it because of the way the world is right now. Everything is so distracting. And it might seem silly to practice things like meditation or tactics like I just told you to sit down and focus on one thing at a time, but you have to adapt to where the world is now. The world has never been more distracting, and the ability to be focused is going to become a rare commodity that will enable you to succeed. And I'm humble enough to admit that this is something I have to actively work on. I'm a natural overthinker. It's really hard. And in the world today, posting on social media and the world in general, it's so distracting. Every time you hop on these apps, they literally get better every single day at distracting you. And media in general is in the same path of constantly iterating to try and catch your attention as quickly as possible. So this is so important. But there's one more framework that you need to understand before I wrap this video up, which is being able to shut it off. Because if you're constantly revving the engine, thinking is the worst. We've just gone over that, right? And to make this simple really quick, thinking is anything about the future, anything about the past. Thought is in the present moment, just to sum that up. But even if you're fully in the present and you're setting intentions and you're thoughtful with your actions, still, if you were to do that all day long, you eventually burn out. I've been there before. You cannot rev the engine all day. Maybe there are some people out there in the world who can work 18 hours a day. I certainly am not one of those people. You probably aren't either. So what does this mean? You have to be able to turn it off. You have to be able to set your intention on no thought. And this does not mean that you should, oh yes, hooray, you can watch 6 episodes of a random show and I'm recharging and turning it off. You have to set your intention on that, right? So many people are helplessly distracted in the fact that when they get tired or they feel like they're finished work or they accomplished some menial task, then they, without setting any intentions, they're just watching a show or doing this or doing that. You also need to set your intention on when you're taking a break, on when you're recharging. I'm not saying you gotta be so automated that every minute of every day is blocked out on a Google Calendar. For some people that works, but you need to be mindful with how you set your intentions. You need to be able to plan out, okay, I'm going to set this intention, then I'm going to recharge. This is how an F1 car operates. Imagine your mind like an F1 car. You set your intention on when you're gonna race, and then you set your intention on when you make a pit stop. What most people do, the reason why they stay in the same place year after year after year, is all they do all day long is they rev their engines, right? They're practically in park because thinking is not making any progress. When you're thinking, you're in park, and you're revving your engines, and you're drained every day because most of your day is thinking. Once you start unlocking the second level that we've talked about, which is thought, now you're driving. But if you don't take any pit stops, you're gonna burn out. You might even crash. So it's setting those thoughts, kicking it into gear, and then knowing how to take pit stops. This is the formula to freeing your mind. If you're interested in actually just leveling up your mindset, feel free to subscribe. But regardless, get after it. Stay blessed. I'll see you in the next video.